Hey guys, welcome to Fixing My Ugly Backyard, episode 3. In this episode, we're going to cover steps 3 and 4 of my backyard renovation project. We're going to do mechanical core aeration, and we're going to apply a pre-emergent tenacity. So follow along, I'll show you the tools that I use and the mistakes that I make. Let's get growing. Alright guys, so before you aerate any areas where you might have underground irrigation, you want to make sure that you mark the sprinkler heads with flags or just some type of marking so you don't get too close to it with the aerator. It should be safe as long as you don't go over the head, but I tend to stay a few inches away from the heads just in case the pipes come up close to the surface. So let's mark the sprinklers. So I rented this aerator from Home Depot. It cost about $120 for a 24-hour rental. So I went with that just to make sure I had enough time to do a couple passes over the yard. But I figured I'd give you guys a little quick how-to on how to use an aerator, just in case, like me, you've never used one before. So the motor is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a regular Honda motor. Little pro tip for you. So depending on the model that you get, they weight these down differently because it has the tines in the back, which are actually what go into the ground and pull out the cores. And in order for it to get deep enough in the ground, it needs to be weighted down. So before you move this thing, this right here is the weight. So you can take it out just like that. This thing probably weighs about, I don't know, I'd say like 20, 25, probably 20 pounds. And there's one on this side and one on the other side. So before you lift this thing in and out of the car, if it's just you and one other person, you might want to pull these out first before trying to load that beast. But other than that, anything I tell you here, whoever you rent this thing from is going to give you the same spiel. But on the Honda motor, you have your on-off switch right here. So you want to switch it to on before you start. This is your fuel gauge right here. So I have it on the on position. This is the choke. I've already ran this thing a little bit, so I'm not going to need to choke it. This is choke on, this is choke off. And then obviously you pull here to start. All right, so the way I have it right now, the tines are up, they're not engaged. So there's 2 levers here, well, 3 levers. This one's to hold, this one's your accelerator, and then this is the lever that you use to actually drop the tines. So I'm gonna drop, it takes a little bit of force to do it. All right, so now the tines are in the ground, and you're gonna pull this to go, and it'll really take off on you. There we go, we're off. All right, let's try another pass. Push this down to engage, and then hit the accelerator. Here we go. All right, the core aeration is done, and man, that was a workout. So I'm gonna go rehydrate now, and then we'll apply the Tenacity. All right, so I'm ready to apply the Tenacity to the backyard. Now, this is a pre-emergent, meaning that it's gonna help prevent any other plants that are not the grass that I want to grow from growing at the same time. I prepped the soil to facilitate seed growth, so obviously some weeds are gonna come up at the same time. So the way Tenacity works, I think, is anything that's not grass when it comes up is actually going to be white. And this product can actually be sprayed directly on the dirt and then watered in. So that's the method that I'm going to use. Now, this is heavy duty stuff. It's a heavy duty chemical. So you have to make sure that you wear your personal protective equipment. So in case you didn't know, step 1 to applying Tenacity is you got to dress like a ninja. All right, let's get spraying.